What's up, guys? It's Nazi747 here, coming at you live from my room once again, and asking you. Let me just ask everyone here a question. You ever watch any of your favorite shows, or some of your least favorite shows? I guess you could say for this thing I'm doing. Well, when I mean your favorite shows, I'm talking about if you're a '90s kid and all the way up to where it is now. Nowadays most shows are complete crap now, especially Cartoon Network. But I'll leave that Cartoon Network thing for another video because I did two previous videos on Cartoon Network. But let me get on with it. You ever just see certain places in your favorite shows as a kid or as a full-grown adult as I am now, and just feel bad for the people there, and just hate, and you would hate to live there with those people going through all that crap? Well, today I'm going to be revealing you my top 5 places I would hate to live in some of my favorite anime and cartoons from America. And without further ado, let's get started. Ah, yes, Dead Man Wonderland. Number 5 is Dead Man Wonderland. Well, let me give you some real reasons why I would hate to live there. For one, I'm a black man, and that's prison. I spent my whole life I spent my whole life avoiding going to prison. That's one place you do not want to go. In fact, that's worse than prison. That's hell on earth. Sure, you may think it's a lot of fun, but think about it like this. Well, I should have said this from the beginning of the video, though, but let me just point this out. Uh, each of these places, I do not view myself as a person with powers living in these areas. Imagine if you were just a normal person living through all this crap. I mean, people with blood abilities and all that coming out of their hands and arms. Screw that. In fact, having a collar around your neck, injecting poison in you every single day, and if you don't win a thing called candy to keep yourself alive, you just die. Shoot, I would hate to live there. It's like if I was put there, I'm going to be on Gonta's side the entire time. I would not leave his side. I would probably just stay there. Just stay there. Or better yet, steal people's candy just to survive. That's exactly how I would do it. Well, that's all I got to say about that one. Let's move on to the next one on the list. Number 4, Stormalong Harbor. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way really quick. First off, everyone there is butt ugly. I mean, like, butt ugly pirates everywhere you turn. There's a psycho barber there, crazy candy salesman that believes that his candy wife is real, even though she just sits there and just gathers bugs and starts to rot slowly. Let's see, there's a talking whale out in the harbor that has a very sassy attitude. No offense, but it's like, no offense, I can't deal with that kind of attitude. I'd probably turn into blubber nuggets, something like that. And here's the worst of it all. I would have to say. I'll get to the worst part, but let me be quick about this. Well, apparently there's a maple syrup alcoholic type pirate, old salty pirate dude, and this young kid walking around through this harbor and everything, basically homeless. And apparently, I only got one question for the creator of that show, to be honest. Why in the world would you have a young boy following this old captain around drinking maple syrup? Yeah, I don't need X-ray vision to know what's going on in that little relationship. Adventure. Yeah, we all know what's going on with that. Probably giving him candy just to keep his mouth shut. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. I think you know. But worst of it all would have to be the economy. Like, what's up with that? I mean, like, think about it. An economy so bad that candy is used as a currency, or candy's the most valuable thing there, or candy's the most thing that is the thing that you need the most. Otherwise, you'll never make it, or you won't be able to do anything or get anything done. No offense, but I'd probably kill myself if I had to live in that little universe for about a day. I already know I wouldn't last a day. Everywhere you turn, sea monsters and all these weird ass stuff happen for no apparent reason. In fact, I probably wouldn't kill. I wouldn't kill myself. I'd probably shoot everyone in the freaking neighborhood on that harbor and just turn that entire place into a freaking nightclub or something on the docks. For real pirates that actually go for treasure and not freaking candy. Well, that's what I have to say about that. On to the next one. All right, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and just say it. Number three is Total Drama Island, but on a specific note, before anyone says anything, yes, I know they don't technically truly live on the island. They're just there for a long period of time, and then they all go home. Yes, I get that. But what if you were actually there as a contestant, forced to live with these other teenagers and dealing with all their crap? And yes, I'm gonna say this, their drama. Well, for one, I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't last. I'll probably last about a good 5, maybe 6 episodes of that show. I mean, think about it. I mean, if I had to interact with people like Heather and DJ and all that, I'd probably have to. I'm just like I would probably have to beat the crap out of a few of those guys. I mean, the only person that's really true to himself, the only person that's the real deal on that show would have to be Duncan. Well, Duncan and Lashana. There's like the only two people that are actually true to themselves and they'll be honest with themselves. Well, and okay, I keep omitting Gwen, but the thing is, she won't come out. I mean, she won't come out and say that she likes Trent or whatever. But I'm not here about that. I'm gonna tell you the reasons why I would hate to live there. For one, Chris, and number two, Chef. For all you know, they could be pulling pranks on everybody and setting live bears on people for no apparent reason. I mean, think about it. You are literally at risk every time you wake up in the morning for a challenge. I mean, terrible. It's like I hate to say it, but Chris would probably be the first host I would actually just kill, straight up kill. Because like, and I can blame it on any of the other cast members too, and they'll probably believe him. And well, that's pretty much it for my reason for not wanting to actually be on that island. I mean, for one, especially on the first season, I would hate to live there. I mean, the latrines are terrible, the showers are always cold, and living with a bunch of other guys that like to pull pranks on each other, especially if you're the nerdy guy like Harold was. I mean, don't get me wrong. At first, I didn't really like the show at first, but over time, it caught on. After the first for 2 or 3 seasons, it was all right. But then when they kept it going, it was like, oh my god, just stop already. That kind of thing. And to be honest, well, like I said, I probably last about a good 5 or 6 episodes for that whole duration of me being on that island with all those other guys and girls. I mean, like, I would try. I mean, if I had to be forced in that kind of situation, I would probably make an alliance with all the real people and just start eliminating everybody else, and just take those two down and just win the money. But no offense, I don't want to be famous that freaking bad. I mean, you're at risk, constantly embarrassing yourself. Like if you suck at sports, you're screwed because they got it on camera, and like the whole world's watching. That's the worst part about it. It's like, in other words, the worst case scenario, you do the most embarrassing thing of your entire life, and it ruins your life, and that shows it to everyone in the world. Hey, and that's just the worst part. Just all the cameras being around you. That's the worst way to live, to be honest. And let's move on to the next place on my list of horrible places to live. Number two, Amity Park from Danny Phantom. Well, the Danny Phantom series anyway. Well, let's be. I'm gonna be honest and it's pretty obvious why I would not like to live there. I mean, like I would consider living there if I had ghost powers so I could defend myself, but you can't. I mean, think about this: ghosts that are flying around, secretly getting out of their dimension and coming to where we are, have the ability to possess us and make us do crazy stuff. Not to mention, you have a superhero flying around trying to stop them. I mean, think about it. What if they mess up your car or when they blow a hole through your apartment or something, and then it's like, hey, Danny, what the, that kind of thing. I mean, like, I would hate that. I mean, the number one the number one place has that same problem, but that's 10 times worse than what I just said. I mean, Danny's just one hero. I mean, he can't possibly get all those ghosts. I mean, like, even if he does have help from his friends, I mean, think about it. That's just terrible. I mean, think about it. I mean, ghosts like Stalker and all that, going around hunting other ghosts, and especially Danny, but and there's Vlad Plasmias. And here's the even worse part. If you go to high school and you're a nerd, you're gonna end up getting shoved up in your locker like they try to portray it in like a high school bully type thing, going on in their lives. But in reality, none of us have ever thought to do that, unless the lockers are actually, huge and not about this big. I mean, like, how can you fit a 5 foot teenager inside of a locker that's not that big? I mean, sure, you could be super skinny, but you would probably break a few bones trying to cramp yourself inside of that thing. I mean, sure, you can actually fight back. I mean, like, I would. Shoot, I wouldn't let them push me around or anything. But anywho, but the real main reason is all the crazy stuff that happens despite Danny going around saving and trying to help people. But like I said, he can get some of the ghosts, but he can't get them all. It's like, think about it. I mean, there could be, I know what people are going to say, but there are friendly ghosts. I get that. I mean, not all ghosts are douchebags. That's true. But the majority of them are bad. And that's all I have to say about Amity Park. On to the next one. All right, fellas. All right, folks. And my number one place I would hate to live is Townsville. That's right, number one, Townsville. Why? Pretty obvious. I mean, there's crime, supervillains, monsters destroying the city, and all that. Think about it, man. And you expect three little girls to get every last one of those things done before bedtime? No, no. I would hate to live there in general. The worst place to live, absolute worst. Monster destroys your apartment, gone. Everything's gone. Everything you worked for, everything gone. Nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing you can do. To tell you the truth, that's like the worst. Like I said, it's the absolute worst place to live. I mean, there's a number. Like I said, crime rate is so high there. It's worse than Chicago. Yeah, I said it, and I apologize for anyone that's from Chicago, but I gotta say the truth. Nothing. I mean, every time you open a newspaper from Chicago, all you see is crime, crime on every freaking page. But imagine that 10 times worse in Townsville. Dang, screw that. And since we're on the topic of Townsville and all the crime and all that and whatnot, why don't all of the villains just think of this? Every time they're going after a monster or something, just rob a place. Because by the time they're done dealing with that monster, you can be long gone. You can got the diamonds, you can got the money, you can left. Plus, they can't prove who did it unless there's security cameras in that place. I mean, like between that and then you would I wouldn't want to live in the city nor the outskirts. I wouldn't even want to live in the woods because there's a huge red thing ready to kill anyone that steps on his property. I mean, they went a little far with that one, that whole redneck thing. Good God. I mean, it could have been worse. I will admit that. But that's it for my list of places I would hate to live in fictional. Well, list of fictional places I would hate to live. And everybody knows Townsville is the worst of them all. I'm signing Nazi 747, and I'm out. Hey there, Sonic Nazi 747 here. Right now, I want to hear from you guys. What is your top 5 fictional places you would hate to live? Hit me up in the comments section. Give that video a good like, and subscribe if you feel like it. Also, I'm going to be showing you, at the end of this little clip right here, I'm going to be showing you a picture of who I'm going to be talking about next in my next video. Don't get to it, and it's like, see y'all next time, I guess.